It's our top story. It's the battle of resolutions between Karnataka and Maharashtra. Last week, the Karnataka Assembly passed a resolution condemning Maharashtra for claiming parts of the Belagavi region, 865 villages to be specific. Days later, the Maharashtra Assembly has now pulled off a tit-for-tat move. The winter session in Nagpur passed a resolution against Karnataka. Let me tell you what this resolution is saying. Number one, the Karnataka Assembly has been branded as anti-Maratha. Number two, the Assembly has resolved to bring 865 villages in Belagavi into Maharashtra. And number three, the Maharashtra government is planning to mount a legal battle against Karnataka. That legal battle currently underway in the Supreme Court already. Now, the resolution was passed unanimously by the Assembly. Listen in to what the Chief Minister Eknath Shinde had to say.
सर्व बाबींवर केंद्र शासनाने हस्तक्षेप करण्यासाठी दिनांक 14 डिसेंबर 2022 रोजी माननीय केंद्रीय गृहमंत्री अमित शाह साहेबांनी नवी दिल्ली येथे कर्नाटकचे मुख्यमंत्री आणि महाराष्ट्राचे मी स्वतः उपमुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्रजी यांच्या समेत बैठकीत दोन्ही राज्यांमध्ये समन्वय ठेवून माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालयाचा निकाल येऊन वाद न वाढवता शांतता दोन्ही राज्यांमध्ये ठेवण्याकरता एकमत केले असताना देखील विपरीत भूमिका कर्नाटक शासनाने घेणे दरम्यान कर्नाटक विधिमंडळाने 1 इंच जमीन न देण्याच्या दिनांक 22 डिसेंबर 2022 रोजी केलेल्या ठरावामुळे सीमावादाला चितावणी देण्याचे काम कर्नाटक सरकारकडून जाणीवपूर्वक केले जात असून कर्नाटक शासनाची भूमिका लोकशाही संकेतात धरून नाही.
ठराव मांडल्यानंतर साहजिकच आहे महाराष्ट्राचं विधिमंडळाचं अधिवेशन सुरू आहे आणि या अधिवेशनामध्ये सुद्धा आपल्याकडनं सुद्धा त्याला एक उत्तर देण्याची गरज होती. मी सरकारचं एक अभिनंदन करतो, त्यांना धन्यवाद देतो की निदान तिथल्या सीमा भागातील जे अन्यायग्रस्त मराठी भाषिक आपले माता भगिनी आणि बांधव आहेत त्यांच्या पाठीशी आपण ठामपणे उभे आहोत असा ठराव त्यांनी आज मंजूर केला. त्याला साहजिक आम्ही पाठिंबा दिला कारण
Okay, so you heard them both. Both Karnataka and Maharashtra are not backing down. That is very clear. They were warned, if you remember, by the Home Minister Amit Shah not to escalate the situation. But clearly, neither side is interested in listening to him. So the question is, how can this conflict be diffused? Now, yesterday, Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray pitched a solution. He says Belagavi must be declared a union territory until the Supreme Court can make the final decision. It's not something he's saying, only he's saying. It is something that other leaders in Maharashtra from the Shiv Sena have been saying as well. But why would Karnataka agree to such a solution? After all, they already control the Belagavi region. So anything other than the status quo is a setback for them. Which brings us to the legal nuances of this border row. The current boundaries were set by the 1956 State Reorganization Act. Since then, Maharashtra has repeatedly made claims over Belagavi. They want the Marathi-speaking villages, 865 of them, to be included in their state. And needless to say, Karnataka does not agree. In 1966, a special commission was set up to find a solution to this border row. 1966, it's 2022. That commission proposed an exchange of villages between the two states. Karnataka would get 247 villages from Maharashtra and Maharashtra would get 264 villages from Karnataka. That report was tabled in Parliament, but it was never passed. Cut to 2004. The Maharashtra government approaches the Supreme Court. They challenge the State Reorganization Act of 1956. Now, this presents a legal confusion for many experts. Karnataka refers to Article 3 of the Indian Constitution. The article says the Supreme Court cannot decide borders of states. That power rests with Parliament. Maharashtra, meanwhile, refers to Article 131 of the Constitution. This article says the Supreme Court has jurisdiction in disputes between union and state governments. So this is a very complicated legal challenge for the states and even the Supreme Court. And as it turns out, even for political parties. because the Belagavi issue has triggered infighting within the BJP and the Congress. As you know, the BJP is leading the government in Karnataka and is part of the ruling coalition in Maharashtra as well. Yet, both governments are in open conflict. Similar lifts are appearing in the Congress party as well. Former Maharashtra Chief Minister Prithviraj Chavan slammed fellow Congressperson Siddaramaiah for supporting the Karnataka Assembly resolution. Mr. Siddaramaiah says the border issue was settled a long time ago. Listen in.
Mahajan Commission report is final. You accepted. On the request of the Maharashtra people only, Mahajan Commission was constituted in the year 1966. It gave a report in 1967. It's provoking Kannadigas, the BJP people, because they have no right over any piece of land belonging to Karnataka.
Who did it first? You should ask Mr. Siddaramaiah, why did Karnataka Assembly, why did he, as a senior leader of the opposition, agree to a unanimous resolution be passed in the Karnataka Assembly in the first place?
So you're saying that there was first provocation from the Karnataka
Absolutely.
side?
Absolutely.
My guest this evening, Ali Daruwala, is spokesperson of the Maharashtra BJP. He's joining us on the broadcast. Abdul Razack Khan is a political analyst, and Madhavan Narayan is a senior journalist who's joining us on the broadcast. So is Varun Singh. He's a political analyst. Let me come straight to the politicians first. Mr. Ali Daruwala, I thought the Home Minister was very clear when he met the Chief Ministers of Karnataka and Maharashtra that neither side will escalate matters. In fact, ever since that meeting, the only thing that both sides have done and both states have done is escalate matters. Now you're saying tit-for-tat resolutions. You have seen protests in Belagavi as well. How long will this go on? This is not a war between India and China, sir.
Good evening. Thank you, ma'am, for inviting Bharatiya Janata Party to take part in this debate. Firstly, on this debate, I'd like to thank our leader of opposition in Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray, for he really appreciated and he praised the resolution passed in the Maharashtra Assembly that all the Maharashtrians on the border, be it on the Karnataka side or the Maharashtra side, none of them will be harmed, and Maharashtra government is standing firmly and strongly behind them. And coming back to the question that you raised, like what is the matter and why both the states are very hell-bent on their issue, the Honorable Home Minister made it very clear, no matter what happens, it will be resolved sooner or later, today or tomorrow, but no life has to be lost. Not a single life on each side of the state, because both the states are part of the country and we are neighbors to begin with. And this conflict, which the Congress has given as a gift to us, and they expect miracles in last 2 months. We have just come into power last 2.5 months, and they want miracle which they couldn't do in last 60 years. They want us to be resolved in last 2 months, but it's okay. This is the expectations, not the opposition, the Congress, the AAP or the other parties have on us. Yes, we will resolve this, and we are
This war has been brewing since 1966.
Exactly, ma'am.
This war has been brewing since 1966. So
Yeah,
are you telling me that since 1966, the BJP has had nothing to do with Karnataka and Maharashtra, and only the Congress has everything to do with Karnataka and Maharashtra, sir? Come on.
Don't you agree, ma'am? This is a gift that has been passed on to us. The issue that couldn't be solved in 60 years, they want it solved in 6 months. I really appreciate the expectation the country, the people have from us, and we are definitely going to pass the test of this expectation, ma'am. Back to the studio.
Okay. So, okay. But the fact is, thank you, Mr. Daruwala. Essentially, you haven't said much. You have said some nice things, but you haven't said much. The fact is that two states ruled by the BJP are fighting each other like, you know, like these are not states of India, two states of India, but two foreign states, essentially. And
No, ma'am.
the fact
There's no
is
point
that
putting
the
words
Home
in mouth.
Minister of this country stepped into just. No, all I'm saying is that these are two states ruled by the BJP, and one understands that Belagavi is a political issue, of course, but it's an emotional issue as well. But the fact is, this will be down to indiscipline. Your Home Minister tells you that boss, jo bhi ho jaye, don't escalate the matter. The matter is in the Supreme Court. Let the Supreme Court decide. Now, the matter has been in the Supreme Court for a while now. Anyhow, here is a case of gross indiscipline where both states are not just protesting against each other. They are, they have exchanged what is called a war of words. And now these tit for tat resolutions that we are seeing, Mr. Daruwala. So it's a failure of the party.
No, ma'am, I'll just like to answer that question
Sab manmani kar rahe hain.
very pragmatically. See, it is the parliament, it is the house, it is the assembly that passed this resolution, and it was not the individual or the party. And in this resolution that was passed in Maharashtra today, it was the representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party as well as the Congress, NCP, and the Shiv Sena. And this resolution unanimously was passed in the presence of Uddhav Thackeray and the Congress and the NCP leaders. And when the resolution is passed with all the party consensus, it is respected. And what, since I'm the Maharashtra spokesperson, I'll be able to laminate very clearly on what happened in my assembly today. Likewise, what happened in Karnataka, it is the emotion of the people, their sentiments which is attached, because people have lost their lives in previous years. And it cannot be taken lightly. Our honorable, as you said, your home minister, ma'am, he's not my or yours, it is our home minister, who said that this, whatever is the issue, it will be resolved sooner or later, but not a single life. It is the responsibility of both the states to take care of the lives of the citizens on both the sides. This
so
issue
what we
will
are
be
seeing
resolved.
essentially, Abdul Razack Khan, then essentially what we are seeing is the war of optics. You can keep passing resolutions. What difference does it make? You can keep trading charges. Both states can keep telling each other, you are the one who is deliberately provoking this border row. You are the one who is fanning it for political reasons. So this is just a war of optics because there's an important election in Karnataka.
Now, let me tell you, just 4 months ahead of a very important election of the state, we have this issue brewing up, especially when the BJP is at the center. Maharashtra is ruled by BJP, Karnataka is ruled by BJP. Despite Amit Shah ji calling both the chief ministers and having a word with them, this issue is, both the sides are not willing to keep this issue down. Yesterday itself, Modi ji dials Zelensky and tells him to approach Russia and approach for a dialogue. Let's end this war, let's end the border dispute. We have dispute issues between India and China, between India and Pakistan. But these BJP people, where all the three are involved, the center, both the states, Maharashtra and Karnataka, all these BJP people speak about Ek Desh, Ek Nishan, Ek Pradhan, Ek Bhasha. But they forget that it is their ruling under which they are fighting for Bhasha. Amit Shah ji wants Hindi as a common national language. Today what happened? Why can't he put this issue down? They are making this a political issue to win the upcoming elections, to gain some political benefit out of this issue. Now let me tell you, we used to see this in National Geographic Channel and Animal Planet, where people, animals used to fight for territory. Today, what is the reason why should Maharashtra fight for these people? These people were, are and will always be with us. Ask these people if they really want to go to Maharashtra or align themselves with Maharashtra. On face they will say no. They are Kannadigas. Every border you go, Karnataka shares borders with many states. We are close to Tamil Nadu. I speak Tamil. Does not mean that Bangalore will be given to Tamil Nadu. Now Bangalore is close to Kerala. People there speak Malayalam. Does not mean that Bangalore should go to Kerala. We have Andhra Pradesh close to us. We have Odisha close to us. Does not mean that we'll keep giving regions just because people are speaking that language. Yes, in the year 1966, they decided to have their own states based on language. So today these people are adapted to Kannada. These are Kannada lands, and for the pride of Karnataka, we will not cede even an inch, whatever it takes. This might be BJP's politics or whatever. Karnataka's people will stand for each and every Kannadiga. We are not ready for any kind of compromise. So this issue just crops up during election. Now there will be some compromise on this. They want, the BJP people are themselves creating this. They want this to, milk the situation very close to elections. That's what I would like to say, Shreya.
Okay. Mr. Ali Daruwala, I give you 20 seconds to respond to that charge. That if you had to resolve the issue, you would have resolved the issue. You're simply fanning it because there is an important election coming up. There is nothing more to it than this.
Ma'am, this if you see the march,
Adiji is
the
saying that earlier it
protest.
was just 2 months government. Earlier government was Devendra Fadnavis for 5 years.
Ma'am, I would like Mr. Abdul Razack
Exactly.
Khan to
I've
just
asked
answer
him
me
that
if he has
question, but
ever gone
anyhow.
on the border. He said they are Kannada-speaking people. This man is not even aware of what is happening on the border. I have spent months to get on the border of Maharashtra and Karnataka. The people, the sentiments over there are the Marathi-speaking people who is wishing, and it is their desire. They want to connect with Maharashtra. He doesn't know when the separation happened between Maharashtra and Karnataka. The resolution was passed that Belagavi was going to be part of Maharashtra. Well, it has not happened. It has not happened in that point in time. Well, we cannot have expectations of the government, and since he's an analyst, he would not be in a position to answer for any political party. But ma'am, let me assure you, we are going to resolve this issue. We have utmost confidence and utmost faith in our Supreme Court of India. You will really see a landmark judgment like we saw for the Ram Mandir, Article 370, triple talaq. Same wise, it will be appreciated what the Supreme Court is going to do for both the states and the welfare of both the
Let's
states.
see.
Sir, don't
Let's
compare
see.
this
Let's
issue
see.
with
Because
Ram
it's a
Mandir.
tricky legal.
Why can't Amit Shah ji and Modi ji solve this?
Sir, it was the government who went
What
to the
is
Honorable
the
Supreme
connection
Court.
between
And
this issue
Mr.
and Ram
Razack, you have
Mandir?
not been to the border. Just mind what
You
are
are
you
saying
saying?
that
There are
I don't
lots
know
of
about
lives.
these
There are
people?
people have lost their lives for this cause.
Sir, I can
For
talk
you
to
to
you
sit
about
in the studio
Solapur.
and
I
just to
can
pass
talk
a
to you
comment
about
is very
Akkalkote
easy.
also.
Just ask the
Akkalkot
families who
people
have
speak
lost their
Kannada.
life in the
Will you give
separation
back
of the
those lands to
states.
Karnataka?
You cannot let
You
their
have
emotions
Solapur,
be hurt.
where people speak
You cannot
Kannada.
be. This is not a
Sir,
political
people living in
conflict.
the
It is
borders will be
conflict of the
adapted to
state
both
and
the
the
states.
conflict of the
They will
emotions.
speak both the
Mr. Razack,
languages.
go on the border and see for yourself before you pass a comment. Who
No,
speaks
no, you
Karnataka?
can.
Don't speak lies
Nobody
Mr.
on
of
Ali
Karnataka
Daruwala,
will
you
be
can have
associated
all
with
the
those
emotions
states,
you want.
I
Mr.
have been to
Daruwala,
those
एक minute,
places.
gentlemen,
I have
gentlemen,
spoken to those
gentlemen,
people.
just a minute. Gentlemen, just a minute. Mr. Ali Daruwala, you can have all the emotions that you want to, but as far as things stand right now, Belagavi belongs to Karnataka. That
Yes, agreed.
is the truth of the situation right now. You have
Yes,
challenged
Shreya,
it
you're
in the
right.
Supreme Court, all very well. But the fact is that in 1965, Belagavi and all the villages that you're talking about, 800 plus, were given to Karnataka. And that is how it has stood. But Madhava Narayan, even the matter is in the Supreme Court, I get it. But even for the Supreme Court, this is a tricky issue to talk about or rule on. Because at the heart of this conflict will lie for the Supreme Court the question, should we should we step into what is a border row between two states? Are we in a position to do so, or is the parliament? Because there is a conflict on that as well. There are two articles that are often cited, Article 31 and 131.
Let's take a deep breath, Shreya. I think we need to ask ourselves some question about interstate disputes in general and locate Belagavi as part of the interstate framework. You know, we've had the Kaveri water dispute between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka running for decades in a similar way. Matter has gone to the Supreme Court time and again. Has it ever been resolved? The answer is no. Interstate disputes can only be resolved either by mutual negotiation and or by a combination of Supreme Court, egging on the Parliament to do something. But I can go and the Supreme Court is not going to pronounce on this overnight. It's going to take probably years of hearing. The real issue right now is two things. One is there are demographic issues which cannot be resolved through law. You can do a census, but does the majority thing matter? Unlikely so, unless the Supreme Court says that can be the basis of something for negotiation. So the real issue is political. Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi are the target of this. This is a part of Shiv Sena's politics to emphasize the Maharashtrian or a Marathi identity because it wants to distance itself from the BJP. It wants to de-Hindutwaize its identity. Whether you look at the furor over the Vedanta project that has gone to or seems to have gone to Gujarat on semiconductors or this is an excellent way for Mr. Sharad Pawar and Shiv Sena led by Uddhav Thackeray to shake hands. There is a unit called the Maharashtra Ekikaran Samiti, which is a socio-political committee, which is actually jointly headed by Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar.
Correct.
So we are looking at Karnataka elections next year, 2023. We are also looking at the general elections in 2024. This is an excellent opportunity that has been concocted by the MES, which is cleared jointly by the Shiv Sena, led by Uddhav Thackeray and NCP. They have garlanded a statue of Shivaji in Belagavi yesterday, I think, or day before maybe. And it is part of a systematic shift of Shiv Sena ideologically from a religio-political identity to a regional identity, so that the development of Maharashtra and the pride of Maharashtra is emphasized. And in the process, as I say in Hindi, kahin pe nigahein, kahin pe nishana. The real target of this is Mr. Amit Shah himself. He cannot adjudicate. The whole purpose is to embarrass the hell out of Amit Shah and Narendra Modi. And Mr. Abdul Razack Khan stole my thunder when he mentioned Ukraine in this. Because how can Mr. Modi talk about being an intermediary in the Ukraine dispute when he's in authority? Can he even call a central hall session or joint session of parliament to discuss Belagavi? I doubt it. Which side will he take? You know, this is not simply a matter of adjudication based on criminal law or something. It's not an open shut-in case. It's a give and take case. So between, unless you want to talk about give and take, and in Karnataka, let's be very clear, it's on very thin ice.
But that was something that was proposed. Do remember that was something that was proposed, that 200 plus villages will be exchanged on either side and you settle the issue.
So the right way to do, in fact,
but clearly no one was interested back then.
I am very surprised by Uddhav Thackeray today, because I had expected him to be more strident, but I think he's deliberately playing ball with the resolution because he knows that nothing will come out of it in the next 3 months, and he will raise the pitch at that time in the Karnataka Assembly elections time, and also during the 2024 general elections, because if he doesn't cooperate now or seem to be cooperate now, he won't have the ammunition closer to the thing. He will say, look, you passed a resolution, fir kya hua? Did you do anything? I don't think the Supreme Court can adjudicate, even assuming the Supreme Court has the authority and that extraordinary will to come out of this, it cannot do so in a matter of 18 months. So we are going to look at the Karnataka Assembly elections and the general elections of 2024, in which Belagavi will be a critical issue, Shreya. Please take this from me. And the Marathi identity and the Maratha identity will be deliberately used by the Uddhav Thackeray group to assert the fact that it is Shivaji before Hegdevar. It is Shivaji before Savarkar. Who is Savarkar when Shivaji is there?
But Varun Singh,
this will be the tone you will hear in the coming days and weeks and months. And this is where you're going to be watch for this space.
Okay, but Varun Singh has
one last point. Please remember, Mr. Bal Thackeray began his political career in the 1960s by enforcing the Marathi identity. Hindutva happened much later. In the 1960s, politics of the birth of Shiv Sena was all about the Maratha identity, and the Marathi identity, it was not about Hindutva. So what we are saying is a return to the old equations in which the surge of federalist forces in India is going to be partially represented in the western part by Uddhav Thackeray.
Okay.
It's going to be very interesting, Shreya, for you and me, of course. Yeah.
So Varun Singh, it will be, I mean, what is playing out is very interesting, Varun Singh. But are we to understand then, from what Mr. Madhavan Narayan is saying, that the BJP has fallen into the trap of the Shiva Sena? They're way too politically savvy to fall into any sort of trap, I would imagine.
No, firstly, I am hoping that he was referring to Shivsena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, not the Shivsena led by Eknath Shinde. And one small thing to correct, there's a huge difference between Maratha and Marathis. You know, the Marathas are a community. Marathi is the umbrella term that we use for people in Maharashtra. It's a huge, huge difference. And when we just, I'm sorry to say, why do we bring Ukraine over here again and again? There is no war that has been led by Maharashtra against Karnataka or Karnataka against Maharashtra. No one is killing each other. A prime minister of our country is asking Mr. Zelensky to stop the war, to find ways to stop war. Here, the home minister has asked for things, and both the states are passing resolutions, which in a democracy one can and one has to. Secondly, you know, Maharashtra, why it has a major claim on all these 865 villages? Because everyone over here clearly remembers and knows that the states were formed on the basis of languages and linguistics matters. So Maharashtra has these claims, and since day one of Belgaum being given to Karnataka, Maharashtra has raised its Maharashtra has raised this thing not only in the state but as well as in center, and technically it has gone to the court expecting that 865 villages be brought in. Even when Mahajan Commission report had come in, Maharashtra had rejected it, stating that it wasn't done the way it should have been done, and that's the reason they didn't accept that report way back in 67. It was the Congress government there in the state, center, and both the states, and yet it couldn't be resolved, and today also it cannot be resolved. And the only solution it is that when a matter is in the court, the court should decide, not the government of any state, and neither Mr. Modi or neither Mr. Shah can intervene when the matter is sub judice. It isn't that the matter has been taken out of the court that Mr. Shah can just give out a judgment. Thankfully, all these people, most of the people who today want Mr. Shah to take out his pen and pass a judgment are those people who accuse him of not following the constitution, the BJP of not following the constitution, and today they want Supreme Court to give a reply, give an answer to it. Even today's resolution that was passed in Maharashtra Assembly is pretty clear that the Maharashtra government will be seeking 865 villages, Marathi-speaking villages of Belagavi and all those nearby boundaries, districts of Maharashtra and Karnataka via the legal recourse. And what else do you expect in a democracy? Do you expect, both the states to fight on the streets? No, this is how a democracy works, and it is going to take a lot of time. And I think that is the indication of a good democracy where both the states are involving into dialogues and via resolutions. You see the Congress, the BJP in Karnataka being together on this issue. You see all the opposition and the ruling party being together on this issue over here in Maharashtra. It is being fought in a way it should be. And sorry to give so much, I don't give so much of importance to a political party with hardly few MLAs here. Sorry, Shreya.
But the fact is that Mr. Bomai has been saying, I have to wrap the discussion here. It's been interesting to listen to all points of view. But Mr. Bomai has been saying that the border row, the Belagavi border row, has become a political tool for whichever party comes to power in Maharashtra, and has asked the Maharashtra government to not create disputes between two states which actually share a... Well, yes, you can argue it either way. That's what is interesting. But you're saying this is not a war. You're saying this is not a war. Don't compare it to the Ukraine and Russia war, for heaven's sake. We'll leave it there. Yes, this is not a war, but the fact is that two states have been fighting with each other, sometimes peacefully and sometimes not peacefully, since 1965 over these 800 plus villages. Since 1965, the matter has not been resolved. That says something to us, I think. It would be too politically inconvenient to resolve it, I guess. We leave it there for the moment, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Karnataka's Chief Minister, Mr. Bomai, meanwhile, has reacted to the Maharashtra Assembly resolution. He's saying while Karnataka's resolution was according to the law, the Maharashtrian resolution is against the constitution.